When Hasan responds to me, he just f***ing lies. He doesn't show a single f***ing second of anything that I actually say about him from any of my videos.
Frustrating, huh? That's pretty frustrating, huh? Yeah, true. That is how Hasan works. I was thinking about like taking an actual trip to Cuba and doing it with Bad Empanada because I thought that would have been hilarious. But the things that stopped me were that one, I would have to fight a huge messaging war with my own community because my own community would get mad at me. And then publicly, I don't know how much I would want the association to be there. But then I'm also not really sure how genuine Bad Empanada is. I think Bad Empanada is a genuine leftist. Like I think he's crazy, but I think he's a genuine leftist.
Hello everyone. So Hasan Piker is yet again engaging in outright slander of people to his left, this time attacking me and calling me a Fed as in an agent of the US federal government for daring to criticize him. Now that's an especially interesting accusation given that I have been actually investigated by the American FBI and there was a federal grand jury investigation into me looking into the possibility to indict me for my support of Palestine and being anti-Israel. So, yeah, let's look into the evidence that he presents for this incredible theory.
Oh, also, a coalition of some of the most Fed-coded forces are finally gathering together. Our haters are anemic.
Also, I'm a Fed now? What does that even mean? Like, really? What? Okay. And Bad Empanada? I don't even think he's in the United States, right? Like, what? Okay.
Our haters must be anemic, but they are doing their very best. The real horseshoe has been unlocked. Joining forces off of their mutual and shared enmity towards a political content creator, it seems to me like the haters still want to maintain being waiters at the table of success. Never thought I would see the day when
who wrote that from?
A far left, ostensibly, someone who considers themselves to be a far left doxer and a center-right liberal groiper doxer. You know, we got the third worldist doxers, third worldist groiper doxers, and we got the DNC groiper doxers coming together to dox into oblivion. Fantastic. Level 7 hype train, ladies.
Like, look at all of the terms, like, thrown together. Like, oh, this guy? Isn't this guy like a groiper? Isn't this guy like a groiper DNC, like, far-right capitalist, like, Protoss main, supports the Andor Stormtrooper? I don't know fucking what else, but it's like all the buzzwords, like, thrown together. Like, really? Keep in mind also, nobody has amplified Bad Empanada and all of his doxing behavior more than Hasan Piker. Hasan was the most popularity that Bad Empanada ever got on stream. And not popularity like debating him, like I did to Fuentes when people accused me of being the sole progenitor of fucking Fuentes' entire career, that I'm the person who literally gave him everything. But like that, literally, like just had Bad Empanada on his stream, was giggling about, I think they were talking on stream directly, right? And then, you know, was showing him doxing everybody in the video. It's just like, whatever.
Gentlemen, love you, dude. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Level 7 hype train. Like, this is just such a microcosm of the absurdity of the world that we live in. A supposedly left-wing influencer is like going off about his Twitch hype train as he slanders someone further to his left with...
True! I thought about this for a little bit, but between my court case and everything else going on, and also I just wasn't sure if I wanted to deal with, I just don't have the public flexibility at the moment. I was thinking about like taking an actual trip to Cuba and doing it with Bad Empanada because I thought that would have been fucking hilarious. But the things that stopped me were that one, I would have to fight a huge like messaging war with my own community because my own community would get mad at me. And then publicly, I don't know how much I would want the association to be there. But then I'm also not really sure how genuine Bad Empanada is. I think Bad Empanada is a genuine leftist. Like I think he's fucking crazy, but I think he's a genuine leftist. And I do have like, I legitimately feel go like really bad for the Cuban people. I'm not gonna hit the time box. But I just don't know if I want to do all of that. But a good thing I didn't, I guess.
Outright lies. Thank you so much, everyone, for donating to me, someone who's already a millionaire. Get that hype train going, as I do slander of people who are definitely not millionaires and definitely nowhere near as close to power as I am.
True.
Oh my God.
True.
Anyway, so let's look at the evidence for this claim, right? It's a screenshot of a Destiny stream where he apparently looked at a video on my second channel for about 5 seconds and then closed it. I'm not shitting you, that's the basis of this. He is claiming that I am working with Destiny, who he, by the way, whitewashed, calling him center-right. I wouldn't call Destiny center-right at all, the guy's an outright fucking fascist. But here's evidence of me working with Destiny is literally Destiny bringing up one of my videos on his stream for 5 seconds and then closing it. That's it, that's the evidence. Yep. And on that basis, he declared that I am a Fed. Me, someone who has actually been investigated and borderline persecuted by the American federal government, the FBI, the American court system, for their pro-Palestine advocacy. You know, I obviously have never gone on Destiny stream or anything like that, except one time like 5 years ago to debate against him. You know, in actual reality, my relation to Destiny is that I make videos where I shit on him and explain how he's wrong and also a moron, and Hasan obviously knows that because he has reacted to precisely those videos that I've made.
Yep. And it's funny, too, because when Bad Empanada was starting to fight with Hasan more after they ended up basically killing each other, I started to retweet Bad Empanada to signal boost his attacks against Hasan, and then Bad Empanada would retweet my retweet and say, I hate you, Destiny, you're a that wants to abuse children. So, like, the idea that we're some... Oh, my God, bro. It's so stupid.
Hitting on Destiny before. He knows that he's lying here, obviously. And, you know, we can also ask a pretty simple and enlightening question here. Between me and Hasan Piker, which of the two of us have politics that are in practice closer to Destiny? Obviously, it's Hasan Piker. They're both Democrat Party voters. They both think that the way forward in American politics is to vote for slightly more progressive Democrat Party candidates. Their politics are, in practice, essentially identical. There's next to zero difference between them. There's maybe like...
So... This is a conspiracy theory of which I have literally zero evidence for. I fully admit that, okay? One of the things I wondered, though, but the thing is, I don't know if Bad Empanada has ever done anything strategic, ever. I don't know if he's ever done anything strategic or if he literally is just like a hardcore leftist and he just wears everything on his sleeve. I wonder sometimes if Hasan has told more radical elements of the left to attack him and fight with him to give him the perception among some people as being not as far left as he actually is. I do wonder that sometimes. And I feel like at the level of coordination that a lot of these things have behind the scenes, that wouldn't even be like the craziest thing to happen. I just don't... Bad Empanada is such a wild card, it's hard to say. But like, Bad Empanada's summary here of how Hasan pushes politics is not even remotely true. Maybe it's true compared to Bad Empanada, who is like the most radical far left person you could be. But
like 4 or 5 differences in their preferred candidates, and that's literally it. Whereas I reject the Democratic Party entirely. So how does this motherfucker get the gall to accuse me of working with Destiny based on some shit he made up, when in actual practice...
Because this line is... But it could be... the problem is this could be... Wait, what was the breaking point between Bad Empanada and Hasan? I think it's that Hasan still wanted to play nice with the Democratic Party and Bad Empanada wants to like burn it all down. But the line that Bad Empanada just gave is the perfect cover for Hasan, right? Like if Hasan was writing a script for a far lefty to fight with him, he would write that. I need you to say that you want to burn the whole Democratic Party down, and I don't. I just want like a few... I just want to like swap out a few politicians, but for the most part, I'm like aligned with the whole Democratic Party. Like me and Destiny, we would vote for like all the same candidates. Like that would be the perfect line to write for Bad Empanada if Hasan was writing a controlled opposition line. But I don't know.
He and Destiny are infinitely more aligned than me and Destiny will ever be. Hasan has worked with Destiny way more than I ever have, and if I use his logic here, where if someone looks at one of your videos, that means you're working with them, then he's working with fucking Asmongold. Oh look, I typed Hasan Asmongold into YouTube, and I found a video of Hasan Piker with Asmongold on his stream. He's definitely talking to him right here. These two are best mates. They're working together. Horseshoe theory in action. Isn't the horseshoe theory thing interesting, right? It's clear just how much Hasan Piker is becoming more and more right-wing, and that now he's literally using the most liberal centrist coded bullshit ever, like horseshoe theory, to attack people to his left. But yeah, this is the sort of logic that he's engaging in here, right? And this is exactly the sort of attack that Hasan has to engage in against me, because he's unable to actually react to my criticism honestly, so it's just defamation, 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 slander, slander, slander. Nothing else. He's totally incapable of anything but this. You know, when I respond to Hasan, I show you what he says. I show you what he says extensively. I bring the receipts. I show his arguments and I respond to his arguments. When Hasan responds to me, he just fucking lies. He doesn't show a single fucking second of anything that I actually say about him from any of my videos.
Frustrating, huh? That's pretty frustrating, huh? Yeah, true. That is how Hasan works.
He just sits there doing defamation and slander the whole time. Like this, it's insane. It's the only thing that he's capable of.
Yep.
Because fundamentally, he knows that he's a fucking bullshitter. He knows that the stuff that he's saying isn't true. He knows where he's leading people. And someone like me who's pointing to it, who's calling it out, is a great inconvenience for him. You know, a couple of months ago, Hasan was like pretending that he was getting subpoenaed by the US federal government for going to Cuba. Now, that never actually happened. All that happened is the US Treasury Department sends an email to Code Pink, not even Hasan. And I joked about that at the time by posting an image of Marco Rubio asking me for info on Hasan Piker so they could put him in prison, like a fake DM in Fortnite of Marco Rubio. Let me show you that. Marco Rubio. Hello, I hear that you have information about Marxist communist Hasan Piker. Now, Hasan's fans went ballistic about this, and they were like, oh my god, Bad Empanada, how dare you not show solidarity with Hasan Piker in this moment, you piece of shit. Meanwhile, the FBI actually investigates me for real and subpoenas me for real, and Hasan goes on his stream live and doesn't just not show solidarity, but smears me as a Fed. This guy wouldn't show any solidarity with you, you know? So when they demanded of you, remember that. If you are someone to his left who criticizes him from his left, you could expect this same sort of level of solidarity from him when the US federal government comes for you. And they came for me. Let me show you the part of my recent main channel video where I show this. In May last year, I received an email that shed quite a bit of light into what had been happening. It read, Google received and responded to a legal process issued by the Federal Bureau of Investigation compelling the release of information related to your Google account. A court order previously prohibited Google from notifying you of the legal process. We are now permitted to disclose the receipt of the legal process to you. They then gave me a reference number for this investigation against me, but nothing more. So that was pretty interesting, and also enlightening as to what had previously been happening to me and people who know me. Clearly, there had been a more formal, serious investigation into me than what I had known about. And they attached a copy of the subpoena, which was a grand jury subpoena. Pretty serious sounding, right? Now, I thought that if this is a grand jury subpoena...
Damn. grand jury subpoena, meaning they were seeking an indictment, right? That's what that would mean if you are, or is it that the grand jury itself issues the subpoena rather than an investigator or a prosecutor on behalf of the subpoena? But I mean, it was a grand jury was involved, so they were looking for an indictment there. That's pretty crazy. Damn.
That's not just an FBI investigation. What the hell is that? That sounds like a trial. But then I looked into it and I found out that apparently in the US, they convene juries for investigations, not just for judging trials. So it probably was an actual trial and was rather just an investigation. I think it would have been weird if they had had an entire trial.
I don't think he understands the process, or I'm misunderstanding something, but I think he's downplaying it there. If a grand jury has been convened, that's because they're trying to get an indictment against you to charge you with a crime, and then to arrest you and then to arraign you and read your charges and everything. So, pretty weird.
Against me, judged by a jury without me knowing about it. So there's that at least. I'm probably not literally on trial in the United States and about to be extradited for my ties to terrorism. And this subpoena had been served to them on December 14th, 2023. So this was a few months after October 7th, under the Biden admin, and Google had been prevented from informing me of the fact that this had happened by a court order that lasted around a year and a half. So that's pretty serious. And weirdly, a lot of this subpoena is redacted. Like the name of the magistrate judge, for example, is redacted. The name of the investigating officers are redacted. Seems pretty serious. And the subpoena was basically for a bunch of my information that is tied to the Google account that my YouTube channel is on. Names, addresses, connection records, records of session times and durations and the temporarily assigned network addresses, length of service, telephone or instrument numbers, means and source of payment for such service and billing records over the course of around a 4-year period. So that's quite extensive.
Somebody says he might have been subpoenaed just to testify for the grand jury to hear. A grand jury subpoena doesn't necessarily mean he was the one being indicted. It might have been someone he was associated with that they wanted him to testify on. Well, but then why are they subpoenaing his emails? I guess maybe.
So, yeah, Hasan Piker is creating elaborate slanderous narratives based on nothing more than a fucking screenshot of a Destiny stream to smear me as collaborating with fascists, while he actually collaborates with fascists for real. For example, he was helping to rehabilitate the image of Ashley St. Clair, who is a literal Nazi influencer, a so-called former Nazi influencer, rather. She spent years doing genocidal Nazi propaganda bullshit, and then he invites her onto his stream to help her start like a new pretend left-wing influencer career now that her old grift isn't working anymore. Hasan Piker gives gifts to genocidal Zionist fascists like Bernie Sanders.
Last time, I was supposed to give you a Japanese Communist Party pin that I got in Japan, and I still forgot to bring it today. So I'm instead going to give you, do you know what this is?
Nope.
An evil eye. And so I'm going to give that to you. In Turkey, we say nazar, which means like, I'm having a hard time taking this off.
All right, well, you give it to me later.
And he endorses other genocidal Zionists like Brad Lander, the former New York City comptroller who invested millions of dollars into the Israeli arms company Elbit Systems, along with many other Israeli companies.
Good morning. Great to see you.
Brad Lander is running.
This community means everything to me.
I'm not going to be sold on Brad, but if he wins, I don't care too much. I like Brad Lander. Like I said before, in the absence of Zohran Mamdani in that crowded primary for New York mayor, I would have probably gravitated towards him. But you are forgetting what he did as a Jewish human shield for Zohran Mamdani.
The pure level of projection coming from this guy is off the fucking charts. The end result, like if you want to see the result of what he's doing, just search Twitter for the term Hasan Piker Democrat. These people accuse you of being a Fed, and then you look at the sort of political end that they are serving, and their fans are now openly identifying as Democrats. That is one of the two wings of the US two-party system, of the US federal government, of genocidal imperialism, of Zionism that did the genocide in Gaza. His fans are posting, "We are Hasan Piker Democrats. We're members of the Democratic Party." He's accusing other people of being feds, like the fucking US federal intelligence agencies are terrified of you turning people into Democrats like this. Is that the thesis here? The US federal government is seeking out people further to your left to attack you for shepherding people into the Democratic Party? Obviously, that's a ridiculous idea. And he knows it's ridiculous.
Somebody said, I agree with you on most things, but if Bad Empanada is crazy while you're watching his video, sorry if bad question. Why'd you put sorry if bad question? You're like, it's like, some of you guys are like, I raise my hand to scratch my head and you like flinch, like I'm going to hit you, okay? Stop acting like that. You might be banned just for saying that, okay? When I say Bad Empanada is crazy, I need to specify more on this because I am now dealing with legitimately individuals experiencing psychotic conditions. I just mean that Bad Empanada is like super far left, like uber far left, like super commie, way further left than Hasan. But I mean, you can still evaluate the points that he makes when he presents information videos, because he'll at least present more information. He's just showing you like one clip or one cut or whatever thing, you know?
Which is why he has to do this sort of slander against me and others who critique him for this. Straight up slander, made up narratives, disgusting lies, which he will of course never account for. And of course, his fans act upon this pure slander. When they hear him say this, they buy it immediately. Like this is from Hasan's subreddit. Someone on his subreddit posted, BE finally teamed up with Destiny, so I feel very vindicated in my day one BE hater status. How did they team up, someone asked? And the response is Hasan pulled up a screenshot of Bad Empanada on Destiny's stream. All of it is just straight up lie.
Some people were saying this, chat, and I didn't want to argue with it. Hasan absolutely was trying to show with that one. I think the reason why, because I don't think Hasan played any of the video. I think he just showed that screenshot. Hasan showed that screenshot and didn't elaborate much because he really did want to give the impression that BA was on my stream. 100% he did. I know there are going to be people in chat coping on that. No, he just blah, blah, blah. But 100% it was a screenshot because he wanted to give the impression that me and Bad Empanada were chatting on stream together. 100%.
Lies, but it's bought hook, line, and sinker, and that's why Hasan lies about it. Here's another person, another one of his fans. I heard Bad Empanada collaborated with Destiny recently. This puts his principles in major doubt. By the way, the guy who posted the screenshot that he was quoting there, Ogre Boy 6, literally has a Hasan tattoo. The guy has a Hasan Piker tattoo.
He does.
This guy has Hasan and his dog tattooed on his
Yep.
fucking body, man.
Dead
And
dog.
Hasan reinforces the behavior of these sorts of people. He does it very intentionally.
He does.
He encourages them to slander his
Yep,
critics.
he does.
Because when they do it, he rewards them by
Yes.
featuring on his stream.
Yep,
And
liking
this
and
sort of
retweeting.
grooms them into thinking, oh man, I want more of that approval from Hasan. And they keep
Correct.
doing it and doing it and doing it,
They
hoping
do.
for their next fix of Hasan, showing them on his stream. He does this very consciously. Like, he
Yes.
will watch a video with like 500 views that someone made praising him on his stream because he knows that by doing so, he's encouraging them and others like them to keep making these sort of videos glazing. You see how I don't watch like obscure videos of people praising me? Yet that guy fucking does it constantly. It's very intentional. He reinforces this sort of cult-like behavior among his audience. He encourages them to just lie about people who critique him and to avoid dealing with the critiques as well, obviously, by doing this sort of thing over and over and over again. And Hasan himself, like, he has been responding to me often lately, but the thing is, he doesn't actually respond to me. What he does is he sees a message in chat saying like, hey, did you see Bad Empanada said this or this or this? Usually a massive straw man. And then he rants about me for 20 minutes without actually looking at the fucking video where
Yes.
I said that. You
Yep.
see how when I respond to him, right? I respond to his videos. I respond to what he actually says. When he responds to me, it's he's responding to a straw man of me said by someone in his chat that he then rants about for 20 minutes without even showing his fans anything of what I actually said in my videos. Like, he recently did a like 20, 30-minute long rant about me on his stream about what I got wrong, apparently. This is clearly like a masked response to video that I made recently on my second channel called Here's What the US Left Needs to Do. Now, does he even show like a single second of his video here? No, you can scroll through the timeline here, and it's another Hasan video responding to me where he does not even fucking show you a single thing that I said. It's marvelous, isn't it? And I think,
King.
you know, the whole problem with this idiot's mentality and the whole reason why he avoids actually directly dealing honestly with the criticism of him from people to his left is really summarized by this part of his supposed response to me.
There are tens of millions of Americans out there, by your own admission, ready to be radicalized into joining a Marxist-Leninist vanguard party. Go radicalize them.
That's your job. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You claim to be like a real left-wing socialist communist guy. So that's your fucking job. It's not other people's job to do it for you, and then you tack yourself on once they've already done the work.
Like you
You're
do
in
with the
the best
DSA.
position of any of us to do something like that. But what are you doing instead? You're creating Hasan Piker Democrats. It's a choice. You could use your tens of millions of dollars and your huge audience to really do something paradigm shifting in the American political sphere, but instead you're doing shit that's already been done before. You're just doing the Squad 2.0. Shepherding people into the Democrats by lying to them about how this new crop of Democrats is totally different to the last fucking time you did this 10, 9, 8, 7 years ago. You could be the vanguard of creating something legitimately new and different, a real challenge to the system, something that would really get you investigated by the feds as you pretended to be. But instead, what are you doing, Mr. Piker? You're creating Hasan Piker Democrats. And that really says it all. These people are honestly just disgusting, slanderous liars, and I'm glad to be a thorn in their side. He clearly feels very slighted by me, which is why he has done multiple 30-minute long segments ranting about me, of course, without ever actually responding to the videos that I make. Because he knows that if he shows his audience my points and the evidence that I'm showing for those points, which are things that he himself has actually said that contradict everything he claims to stand for, it wouldn't go very well for him. He just has no real response to them.
True.
Hence, what do we get instead? Outright fucking lies, based on Twitter screenshots posted by people who literally have his face tattooed on their body.
True. Where's the lie? Where is the lie?